What we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming? Are we dreaming?
Okay, so hi guys, it's MissLollypop and welcome back to another one of my videos. So in today's video, why did I even say there? I didn't even need to pause, I knew what I was going to say. In today's video, we are actually doing the renovation for the apartment for the 100 baby challenge. I had like a lot of thoughts about this because obviously season 2 of the 100 baby challenge is starting in the next few weeks, as in like maybe like 1 week or so, as long as I get everything prepared. So she needed somewhere to live, so obviously I was going to go ahead and work on that. So the apartment was one of the first things I've gone ahead and done, apart from like the other videos that I'm working on in the background. So I was deciding between a house. I actually did build her a house in Del Sol Valley. So I built her a mid-century modern like rundown house that obviously could be like a little starter upper, and she would sort of like develop it as she goes through her life and stuff like that. But I looked at it and I was like, I just don't feel like it's her house. Like, although it's in a, you know, in a great place, and I felt like the area that it was in was perfect, it just didn't suit her overall personality. It just wasn't like her house, and I could just tell for like Amber's personality type, I just felt like it wasn't going to be her house, which is fine because sometimes you build these things on The Sims and they just don't suit the person, which is great. You know, it was a great house as like a starter up for somebody who wanted to be like maybe a celebrity or something, but it just did not suit Amber, which is fine. So I went ahead and scrapped that. I've still got the video to it. If I might post it eventually for like a little starter build in Del Sol Valley. So I might eventually post that. If you guys are interested in seeing that, go ahead and let me know. But I decided that obviously that wasn't really the thing for her, and I decided that maybe it'd be nice to start off in an apartment. It means that we could decorate it a lot more, because when you move into a house, you have to pay for the lot, you have to pay for everything, plus you have to pay for all the furniture and everything. Whereas when you move into an apartment, you just pay rent, you pay the deposit for the apartment, and then you pay for your furnishings. So it works out quite a bit cheaper to buy an apartment over a house, but obviously you do pay rent every month, but you're not actually paying for anything up front, which is why it'll work out cheaper in The Sims to buy the apartment. So I thought it would be a nice change to start off in an apartment and have her work her way up to trying to get herself a house, you know, trying to move in there. So I don't know if I've actually mentioned this on YouTube just yet, but I did ask you guys for some suggestions on what we think Amber's career is going to be, because obviously she does have to work from home. She is not allowed a job. She's allowed a job that works from home, but, you know, and she's not allowed an actual job. So I decided to go ahead and make her a YouTuber. So I've gone ahead and bought the station. I did make sure that this house wasn't over 20,000, because that is the starting amount of money that you normally get. I don't really want to give her anything over 20,000. If it's like 22, 23, then it's fine. I'm sure Kelsey will loan her a little bit of money to get moved out and, you know, get her first house. But I really was trying to keep the budget of this apartment down. So I'm pretty sure if you was to go ahead and move your sim into it, I'm pretty sure it works out about 23 to 24,000 Somalians, which leaves her with about 5,000 Somalian wiggle room, which is amazing. It means that if we need to pay for anything, you know, any bills, any rent, we've still got all that money before her career starts, you know, starting off, because obviously her YouTube and things isn't always going to work out, or her Sims tube or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Either way, it's just not going to work out straight away, as it doesn't in real life. You know, most of the time it takes a really long time for people to get set up on YouTube, which obviously it took me years for like anybody to actually watch my videos, which is exactly the same for everybody else. Normally that is the case. Most people, you know, do really have to work their bollocks off in order to get good, or, you know, to get noticed on YouTube. Most people, it doesn't just fall into their lap. Some people are quite lucky and it has fallen into their lap, but I wasn't one of those people. So I did actually have to work for it. And, you know, I've worked for a few years on developing my channel. So yeah, I'm sure she's going to have to kind of do the same with her like mummy vlogs that she wants to do. And that's what I was thinking I was going to have her do, sort of be like a mummy vlogger. I felt like that would kind of be like the perfect thing for her to work on. And she can do videos on her family and like fashion and things. Just because of the type of person she was, I wanted to include her fashionable past, and I thought that'd be the perfect way. And also I wanted to go ahead and like update you guys whilst, you know, this is going on in the background. I was asking about Amber's trait because she currently has the trait of hates children, and I was like, guys, can I change this? I was like, it's gonna make it so hard. And you guys said like as a personality development thing, maybe she hates children to begin with, and then gradually as she has children of her own, she actually realized how much she loves children, and then eventually when she has enough lifetime reward points, we can go ahead and buy her the retrait potion and give her a bunch of new retraits and get rid of the hates children, because I feel like eventually she would end up not hating children, which you guys are amazing at that, and you guys were the ones who gave me the suggestion, so thank you to the comment section for giving me all those suggestions, because a lot of you guys did actually you know, give me that as an idea. But I suppose we'll move on to talking about the house now, because obviously I've talked about the story enough, and we'll be covering, you know, we'll be covering the story a lot in the like mini episode that goes between the two episodes, between the last episode, the season finale, and also the part 1 of the first season, which I hope to get out next week. So I think both of the episodes are going to come out next week, so first episode 1 of season 2, and also like the mini episode that sort of sits in between of getting all the kids moved out. Hopefully they'll both come out next week and I can get them out before the weekend, so really hoping that I can work on that. But obviously I am back at uni now, so I do need to concentrate. But yeah, moving back onto the apartment. So this apartment I really worked on developing and decorating. A lot of the time I don't normally have a lot of money to decorate, and normally a lot of the houses I just go ahead and move into them, and I don't normally like build them myself. But I think for this sort of apartment I really like it because I spent a lot of time. Like if you were to uncut everything, because I did have to cut through a lot of this because I was trying to cut it down, because I was like, this apartment renovation is way too long. I was like, how have I spent 2.5 hours? 2.5 hours, people. How have I spent 2.5 hours just decorating an apartment? But when I look back on the footage, I was like, I did put a lot of effort into it, like really tiny nitpicks, like little stuff that I was putting in. As you can see, like as we like go through the video, I'm putting in random little bits, I'm filling in holes that I feel like need things, and I really wanted to make the apartment look lived in, which I really like. I feel like it's a little bit shabby, but then also a little bit like upper class, because I feel like obviously Kelsey would have helped her a little bit. Kelsey's never gonna let her live in like the complete rundown apartment. She still give her like a fairly decent apartment, which I really like the way that this came out. I tried to use a lot of bright colours, so I used a lot of blues, I used a lot of greens, oranges, I used a lot of black and white. I feel like it would kind of be a Scandinavian apartment, kind of, but not really, because there was a lot of whites and blacks used in it, but then also there was like random pops of colour, because obviously she does live in the city, she lives in San Myshuno, and I thought, you know, it'd be perfect to include random bits of colour, and I feel like Amber's personality is quite bubbly and quite colourful, so wanted to sort of show that in her house. Now, the house that we moved into, it has already got the lot trait of the fertility, like whatever it is, like, you know, there's a fertility lot trait. I actually moved her in here because of that reason. Like I moved her in here because that lot trait was already here. Now, in the rules of the 100 baby challenge, it defines that you cannot change the lot trait of a house if you've already moved into them and they're already selected. So for example, if there is already like the historic lot trait on it, you can't get rid of that historic lot trait. You have to settle for it and work around it. You can add new lot traits if there are like places free, but I thought this kind of like is this is showing me the way. Like I felt like I was being pulled to this apartment because it already had that trait, and I was like, well, that would be perfect because it literally already has the trait that I was going to put on the lot trait anyways, which is on Keyline, which is the making babies one, which means that she is more likely to get pregnant with twins or triplets, or whoever gets pregnant in this apartment. So yeah, I thought that was perfect for her to go ahead and get moved into. And in terms of the decorations, I was trying to keep it like shabby chic. I felt like that's what I was going to call the apartment, like a shabby chic apartment. It was like upper class in terms of like the decorating. There was like, you know, there's loads of flowers everywhere. There's a lot of like potted plants and things, and a lot of like little knickknacks. But I also wanted to keep it fairly like cheap looking. Like you know, I feel like overall it didn't really cost that much to, you know, decorate the whole house. And a lot of it is like little nitpicks that's just picked up, like little photos and little frames and stuff to put on the shelves. So there are a few shelves around the house, I will admit, that I didn't fill. There's a lot of shelves that I haven't touched, because I eventually want to have a go and like collect little snow globes and things and put the snow globes up there, and just like random little things that will sort of like make the apartment look lived in. I don't like it when you just fill up the whole apartment with artwork that, you know, you like your sim doesn't have any relation to. I like it when you go and take pictures with your sims. You know, you take pictures of a family and you put it in there. I feel like it makes the apartment look a lot more lived in the Sims. So that was the goal of what I was going to do. I was going to take quite a lot of pictures and put them up there. So yeah, if you have any idea why there's like random shelves like not decorated or nothing on them. That was the idea of them. I didn't want to fill them up too much and not give myself any space to put little knickknacks and stuff that, you know, relate to the family. But we are now onto the bedroom, or we've been onto the bedroom for a little while, and as you can see, I did buy her the like YouTuber station that came with Get Famous, so she is going to be a YouTuber, you know, she's going to be working on her videos as well as having all those babies. Hopefully we earn enough money from it, I'm not too sure. I did go ahead and buy her an easel because she is creatively gifted, which means that maybe even for her YouTube videos, maybe she could record herself doing her paintings and things, and she could sort of have like the drone follow her around, but she's going to need a fair bit of money to do that, so eventually she's going to need that. But I also thought that was a really good suggestion, because when you have your sim do that, and you have your sim like become like a Simstagrammer and stuff like that, they get their followers up, and when they've got more followers, they normally get like a better reputation, and the better the reputation is, when they meet like a sim, they instantly have like a really good relationship with them, like they're already friends with them because they're a celebrity, or they're not necessarily a celebrity, but they're more of like a case of like they're a very friendly person and they know them around the town as being really friendly, so they automatically become friends with them, which is perfect for getting to know men in the 100 baby challenge, because normally it's always about like developing their relationship with men, and if you know you've already got a relationship with the men anyways, then you're perfect. So I thought that was a really good idea to have her, you know, develop into being like a Simstagrammer and, you know, her YouTube and stuff like that, basically just working on her followers and working on her reputation. It will help us, you know, move on with the 100 baby challenge as well. And yeah, overall, I'd say I'm happy with the apartment, definitely happier than I was with the house. Go ahead and let me know if you guys actually want to see that little, like, Del Sol Valley. It's a mid-century modern starter house. If you guys are interested in seeing it, I'll go ahead and post a picture of it right now on the screen. So if you want to go ahead and see it, go ahead and let me know. Well, obviously, you know, if you want to see a video of it, of me building it. It was a really fun build to do, and it was a really quick build. Honestly, I built it a lot quicker than I normally do. But I always know that when I spend a lot of time on apartments and stuff like this, these are my favorites, because I've spent so much time developing them, and they've got like little bits of my personality in the apartments that I feel like I'm connected, and I spent 2.5 hours of my life building this, so I feel like I have to use it in some way. But definitely I feel like this suits Amber's personality way more than the mid-century modern house did. Eventually we can have her move into a house, but for the moment I think this apartment is perfect, and it works for her because obviously she is going to be a Simstagrammer and things, so it's big enough. A lot of the rooms are fairly small, so there is only 2 beds in each room, so God forbid she ends up having triplets, because honestly we are going to have to buy a crib and put that in her room, and then I don't know what we're going to have to do with the beds, because we do not have enough room for 3 like toddlers or 3 children, because there's just not enough beds in each room, and I fit the maximum amount of beds in each room. Like it was a maximum of 2 beds in every single room. As you can see, I'm working on the nursery right now, so this is obviously for the babies. I picked these amazing cribs. I don't know who these cribs were from. I think I say it, like when I click on it, I say it, or when I click on it, you can see it. But they end up being 1,000 simoleons each, and as you can see in the top left, in the bottom left hand corner, we've got 2,000 simoleons left. Now that, I believe the sim that I moved in, like it wasn't actually Amber, because Amber's not ready to move in there yet. The sim had around 25,000 simoleons, so I was trying to keep it below that amount because I did want Amber to have some money when she moved in. So yeah, I was trying to keep it down, and then all of a sudden I placed in these cribs, and I was like, oh my god, I've still got the toddlers room to do, and I've still got the teenagers room, and I'm down to like 1,600 simoleons. So I just went and deleted them and moved the other cheaper cribs back in, because I was like, I cannot afford these, which these cribs are still really cute and they end up coming out really nice, but I did want to use different cribs, because these cribs I've already used in the last season, but honestly these cribs are too cute not to use. Like I'm not like angry that I use them again, because they are the most adorable thing, but yeah, we get the picture. Also, just as a fair word of warning, like throughout this video, there are a fair amount of cuts, like as you can see we just cut there, just because a lot of the time I just fly around. Like with this apartment, I built with a lot of the walls up, like different to what I normally do. A lot of the time I build with like half wall like I'm doing now, but this one I found it was quite difficult for me to show you guys, because I'm building with the walls up. I'm trying to put in shelves, and I'm trying to put in like little, like, you know, artwork along the ceiling and things along the ceiling, not artwork along the ceiling. I'm trying to put in artwork on the walls, and I can't see the walls unless I put them up. But then also it's really difficult to see because the apartment is so cramped. So it was a catch-22, but I love the fact that the apartment's cramped. I tell you what, I prefer cramped houses in The Sims so much more than open houses. Like when I'm looking at one of these little cramped apartments that like looks really lived in, there's loads of like little decorations everywhere, there's loads of little knickknacks. I think that's so much cuter and so much better and funner to play in than it is when you like play in this massive mansion. I personally don't like moving my Sims into mansions. Even when I get really rich Sims, I still don't have them like upsized to massive mansions unless it's got like loads of children, just because I prefer the whole smaller look, like the more quaint houses. I think it's a lot cuter, and I think it's a lot more like family oriented, which, to be honest, that is kind of the way I play my Sims. I play them by having loads of children, which personally that's kind of weird because I'm not really into children myself. There's like okay, like I'm 20 years old, right? And there's people that are 20, my age, that have already had like 2 kids of their own. They're very children orientated. They love kids. They normally see like, their niece or their nephew, but obviously I'm an only child, and I'm not going to have any nieces or nephews, obviously. I don't really anticipate on having any children of my own, like maybe in the near future, no, never, maybe in the very, very distant future, I might end up having children, maybe my view will change, but right now I don't want children, and I'm not going to want children, like right now, in my view, I'm not going to have children, which like, does that make me a failure of a woman? Like it's like what you're made for, but I don't know, like in terms of like being made for it, yes, like your bodies are made to have children, but personally I don't want to live my life having children. I want to go on holiday, I want to travel the world, there's loads of different things I want to do, and unfortunately having children, it makes those things really difficult, which I personally don't necessarily want children in real life. But when I play The Sims and I play with families, I normally have my Sims have like 5 children. Maybe I'm living vicariously through my Sims because I know that I'm not going to have children, so I'm like, well, I'll just put it on my Sims and I'll make them have all these kids, because I'm never going to have them my own, or I'm never going to have them myself. But I don't know, if I did end up having children, I probably wouldn't have that many. I'd probably have like 1 or 2. I don't know, I just don't really see myself having kids, but it's okay because I'll live through my Sims and I'll make my Sims have 50 million children. And honestly, maybe the reason that I don't want to have kids is because of the 100 baby challenge, because I'm worried about hearing all these kids scream. I've had too many choruses of like, I've had the choir of children singing like and crying at me that I'm like, you know what? There's other women out there who can have children, and they, I'm sure, will have enough children to compensate for the fact that I'm not going to have any. So I'll leave it to them. But yeah, we're coming to the end of the renovation now. I'm sorry that this was a complete ramble and I just sort of talked about myself, but you guys say that you like hearing about me, so you know what, I rambled, and that's fine, because in the like middle episode between the two seasons, like there's going to be an episode between them, I'll end up talking a lot more about the game then, and that episode will kind of be fairly long, so I'm sure I'll end up talking about it then, so I can waffle a little bit during apartment builds, I'm sure. We're moving on to the teenagers room. Love the teenagers room. It looks like a little like university dormitory, but I wanted to have them have their own space where they can work on their homework and sort of sit and chill and just be teenagers away from all of their siblings, and basically just so they the kids don't scream at them and sort of bother me. But yeah, overall very, very happy with this. We've also got a little like slideshow, not a slideshow, but like a walkthrough. Like basically it's like a camera that sort of like walks through the house for you. So if you guys want to go ahead and wait until the end of the video, you'll get a chance to see the house in its fullest if you haven't had a chance to really see it, because there have been a lot of cuts throughout this video. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video off here with, the talking bit. Go ahead and listen to some nice little music. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will speak to you all in the next one. Bye guys!
I would do anything just to get you back again. I would do anything at all. I know I'm not innocent, you deserve a better man, but let me just hold your hand once more. Ooh, 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 I wanna take you out. Ooh, 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 show you what I'm all about. Ooh, 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 make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him, about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, 'cause we're still sleeping in my head. There's a new part of me, a part I want you to see. You haven't seen the best of me, I know. You can try to fool yourself, like you love somebody else.